Try not to embarrass us.
What? Dad, how could you say that?
Just behave.
This is my wedding day.
On her wedding day, her own father whispered, "Try not to embarrass us." Not, "I love you." Not, "You look beautiful." Just a warning, like she was a problem they were finally solving. Her younger sister got the rich groom, the flowers, and the front of the room. She got a folding chair in the corner and a husband nobody bothered to look at twice. But the thing about people who underestimate you, they never see what's already standing in front of them. The morning of the double wedding, the Hargrove house was loud in the worst way. 2 daughters, 2 grooms. One house that had already decided which daughter mattered. Brianna Hargrove sat in the center of the living room like she had been placed there by a director. Her gown was the kind that cost more than most people's rent. Her makeup was professional. Her mother kept touching her shoulders and saying things like, "Perfect," and "stunning," and "exactly what we prayed for." Across the room, near the window that faced the side yard, sat Noelle. Noelle Hargrove was the older daughter. She was 26. She had come back from 3 years living with her grandfather upstate after a bad illness. And somehow, in the years since she returned, the house had slowly stopped making room for her. Nobody had said it out loud. Nobody had to. Her bridesmaid had ironed her dress wrong. Nobody fixed it. Her bouquet was smaller than Brianna's. Nobody noticed. Her father walked past her twice that morning without stopping. On the 3rd pass, he slowed down. "Remember what family you represent today," he said. "Don't make a scene." "Yes, Daddy." Brianna drifted over, her gown catching the light. She lowered her voice like she was being kind. "Noelle, maybe we should switch. Let fate decide who ends up with who." Their mother appeared instantly. "Everything has been arranged. Stop being dramatic, Brianna." Brianna pressed her hand to her heart. "I just want my sister to be happy." Everyone in the room nodded like she had said something holy. Noelle said nothing. Then someone looked out the window. The groom for Brianna had arrived in a black car, navy suit, the kind of quiet confidence that filled a room before he even entered it. His name was Devon, and the Hargroves had been pursuing his family for 2 years. The groom for Noelle arrived on a bicycle. The room went silent for exactly 1 second before the laughter broke loose. "A bicycle? Is that the groom? What kind of family sends their son on a bicycle to a wedding?" His name was Trey Morrow. He was lean, calm, and completely unbothered by the sound of 30 people laughing at his arrival. He leaned the bicycle against the porch railing, straightened his jacket, and knocked on the door. Noelle's father pulled her into the hallway. "If you want to cancel this, say so now. I will make the call myself." Noelle looked at the door. She looked at her father. She thought about every year she had spent in this house feeling like a guest who had stayed too long. "I want to marry him," she said. "Noelle, it's my life. I want peace. I want to be somewhere I am not treated like a burden." Her father straightened up. "Then go." They dressed her quickly. No ceremony about it. No big moment. Her mother did not cry. Her sister hugged her for exactly 2 seconds. Nobody walked her out. She climbed onto the back of Trey's bicycle, and her family watched from the porch. Some of them were still laughing. "She's gone from bride to passenger," someone said. "Poverty wins again." Trey said nothing to any of them. He looked straight ahead and pedaled down the street with Noelle holding the back of his jacket, the sun cutting through the trees above them. The room Trey lived in was small. 1 window, a second-hand table, a lamp with a crooked shade. "I know it's not much," he said. Noelle set down her bag and looked around. "I've lived in a big house. It didn't make me happy." "You mean that?" "When I was sick, my grandfather took me in. His house was smaller than this, but he made me feel wanted. After he died, I went back to my father's house and felt like I was trespassing in my own family." Trey was quiet for a moment. "I'm sorry," he said. "It's not your fault." "I know. I'm still sorry." She looked at the window. The morning light was thin and clean. "One day we could put something here," she said. "A plant maybe. Something that grows." He smiled. It was a real one. The kind that started slow. His mother arrived that afternoon. She came in loud, wearing oversized jewelry and a dress that was at least 2 sizes too bold for a Tuesday. Trey buried his face in his hand the moment he heard the car door. "Most of it is fake," he whispered. "She just likes the look." But his mother wrapped Noelle in both arms before she had crossed the threshold. "My daughter," she said, "this house is yours now. Small or big, it is yours." Noelle stood very still in the hug. She could not remember the last time someone had said that to her. "Mine." 3 weeks later, Brianna called. "There's a banquet at the Grand Meridian," she said. "Devin and I are going. You and Trey should come. It'll be fun." Something in Noelle's stomach went tight. "I'll think about it," she told Trey that night. He set his fork down. "Don't go. If I don't, she'll say I'm hiding. Let her say it. I want to stand in that room and show them I'm not broken." Trey was quiet. Then I'm coming with you." "Trey." "Noelle, you shouldn't have to walk into that room alone. If you go, they'll say things. I don't want to watch them do that to you." He didn't argue, but before she left, he held out his hand. In it was a ring. Simple band, small stone, old setting. "This was my grandmother's. She wore it her whole life. Trey, I was going to give it to you later, but I don't want you walking in there without it." She put it on. "Don't take it off," he said. "I won't." The Grand Meridian Banquet Hall was exactly the kind of room that had been designed to make some people feel small. Brianna found her immediately. "Noelle, you came." She was holding Devin's arm with both hands. "You look great. Really. For what you're working with, you look amazing." Devin scanned Noelle once. Security guard's wife. Respect. Brianna laughed like he had said something witty. "Come meet some people." Brianna steered her across the room. "This is Mr. Calloway, Mr. Pierce, and Mr. Ashby. My sister Noelle. Her husband's last name is Morrow, same as that family." Mr. Calloway stopped smiling. "Morrow? As in?" "No," Brianna said quickly. "Just the same name. He's a security guard." Mr. Calloway looked at Noelle. Then he looked at her hand. Then something shifted behind his eyes, something careful and uncertain. "Of course," he said slowly. "My mistake. Some names just sound important," Devin said with a short laugh. But Mr. Calloway had not looked away from her ring. "That's a beautiful piece," he said carefully. "Thank you. My husband gave it to me." "Yes," he said. "I can see that." He excused himself almost immediately after. Noelle watched him walk directly to his phone. "Why does he keep looking at me like that?" She found Brianna alone near the bar. "Why did you really invite me here? What kind of question is?" "Brianna." The smile dropped, just for a second. Then it came back, smaller and sharper. "You always do this. You show up somewhere and people just notice you. You don't even try. I stayed home and worked and performed for that family for years. You spent 3 years at Grandpa's and came back and still got more. It's not fair. I didn't take anything from you. You took everything without reaching for any of it. And then you married a poor man and left on a bicycle and you still walk like you've won something." Her voice cracked at the edges. "I want to see you beg, Noelle. Just once. I want you to admit I won." "Brianna, just admit it." Noelle looked at her sister for a long moment. "I hope you find something that makes you happy," she said quietly. "Because I can see you're not." She walked away. Their father appeared near the entrance. "Noelle, what are you doing here?" "Brianna invited me. This is not a place for—" He looked at Devin beside him. "Important people are here tonight." "Her husband's not even at the gate," Devin said. "Must be his night off." The people near them laughed. "That's enough," Noelle said. "Excuse me? I said that's enough." Devin reached forward and plucked the ring from her finger before she understood what he was doing. "This little thing? This is what you call a wedding ring." He held it up to the chandelier light. "Did he buy this from a street cart? Give it back. Find it yourself." The ring arced through the air and hit the floor. Noelle went still. She did not chase it. She did not cry. She crouched down slowly, picked it up from the polished floor, and put it back on her finger. Then she stood up and looked at Devon. She didn't say anything. She didn't need to. She didn't hear him come in. She just heard the room change. Devon was mid-sentence when he stopped. Her father stopped. 3 people near the entrance stepped back without being asked to. Trey walked across the room like it already belonged to him. You have no right to judge my wife. And you have no right to touch what is hers. Devon recovered fast. You think you can walk in here and take what's mine? Nothing here is yours. Devon looked around the room. Security. Get them out. Nobody moved. The security staff looked at each other. Then they looked at Trey. Why aren't they moving? Brianna's voice had gone thin. Because he knows other security men, Devon said, but his voice was less certain now. That's all. Then Mr. Calloway came back across the room, moving fast with 2 other men behind him. Mr. Morrow, I am so sorry. This should not have happened. The room went very quiet. Devon laughed. He's confused again. Common last name. He doesn't know who he's. Sir, Mr. Calloway said, turning to Devon. You need to stop speaking. They left the banquet without more explanation. Outside, under the drop-off lights, Trey looked at her arm where a red mark was forming. You're hurt. It's nothing. Noelle. I'm okay, Trey. He held her hand. Just held it. No speech. No promises. Just the weight of his hand around hers in the quiet outside that loud building. After that night, Noelle started working. She heard through Trey that a large estate nearby needed household staff. She applied. She did not know it was the Morrow estate. The staff greeted her at the door with careful formality. Welcome, ma'am. Ma'am. It's just how we speak to guests, Trey said, appearing behind her. Guests or staff? You'll be helping with the household, he said. It won't be hard. I'll be close. She nodded. She had no reason not to trust him. She did not notice the way the staff watched her. Not the way people watch a stranger. The way people watch someone they have been waiting for. A woman named Cassidy arrived on the 3rd day. She wore designer everything and moved through the house like she already owned it. You must be new, she said to Noelle. I have a very deep connection to this property. I'm going to be the lady of this house. I was hired by the household, Noelle said. Only the owners can let me go. Cassidy smiled with her mouth only. Then I'll remember your face. Later that day, when Noelle was alone in the kitchen, Cassidy appeared again. Trey and I have history. Whatever you think is happening, it isn't. He belongs to families like mine. I'm not trying to take anything. Good. Because you have nothing to take anything with. Noelle turned back to her work. The confrontation came on a Wednesday. Cassidy knocked a glass from the counter and pointed at Noelle. Clean it up. You knocked it. You work here. Clean it yourself, Cassidy. The glass had shattered. A shard caught Noelle's hand when Cassidy grabbed her arm to force the issue. It opened a cut across her palm. Not deep, but immediate. Trey was in the room before the glass stopped moving. He looked at her hand. Then at Cassidy. He did not raise his voice. Leave. Trey, you can't. Now. He carried Noelle to the sitting room and cleaned the cut with the kind of focused attention that looked like prayer. You didn't have to carry me, she said. I know. Put me down, Trey. No. She almost laughed. That night, his mother sat across from her at the kitchen table. He has to tell you the truth, she said quietly. I keep saying it and he keeps delaying. But the longer this goes, the worse it becomes. What truth? His mother looked at her hands. Ask him, she said. Ask him tonight. Trey. He was standing at the window. Tell me something. Noelle. Why does Cassidy think this house belongs to her future husband? He didn't answer. Why does Mr. Calloway treat you like someone he answers to? Silence. Why do the staff call me ma'am? He turned from the window. I made a mistake. I know that. I made it because I was afraid, and I kept making it because I didn't know how to stop. She waited. My name isn't just Trey Morrow. I'm Trey Morrow. The Morrows. This house. Don't. Noelle. Don't say it. But she already knew. The bicycle. The small room. The staff who greeted them like royalty playing poor. His grandmother's ring. The banquet where a general manager apologized to a security guard. "You were testing me," she said. "I wanted to know if you would stay when you thought I had nothing. You lied. Yes. You made me believe I had married someone ordinary. You let me feel grateful for crumbs. You let me feel strong for surviving what you invented." He had no defense. He stood there and took it. "I'm sorry. There is nothing else I can say that is big enough. I am sorry." She walked out of the room. She sat alone in the garden for a long time. The night was still. The estate spread out in every direction. None of it was what she had thought it was. The bicycle, the folding chair, the room with the crooked lamp, the small fish tank he mentioned for a corner that didn't exist, a rocking chair by the window. Life should have small peace inside it. She pressed her palm against her stomach without thinking about it. She was pregnant. She found out from the doctor 2 days later. She hadn't told Trey she had fainted the morning after their fight. His mother had called the car. "Stable," the doctor said. "Healthy. Just stress. She needs rest. And, congratulations. She's about 8 weeks." His mother wept in the hallway. His father sat with both hands folded and said nothing for a long moment. Then, "The child makes the truth urgent. Tell her everything. Tonight." Trey came to her in the garden. He sat down on the bench beside her. Not close. He left space. "I know you don't owe me anything right now," he said. She said nothing. "I want to explain the banquet. I arranged it to introduce you. As my wife. As who you really are here. I was going to tell you everything that night. I had it planned. Then everything fell apart and I lost my nerve again." "You keep losing your nerve." "I know. You made me feel like the strong one for surviving a hard life. But you built the hard life. You built the room. You built the bicycle entrance. You watched me adapt to poverty you invented and called it a test." He was quiet. "The worst part," she said, "is that I was happy. I was genuinely happy in that little room. And now I don't know if that was real or if that was also part of something you designed." "That was real," he said. "That part was completely real. I didn't design your piece. You brought that with you." She looked at her hands. "I'm pregnant," she said. He didn't move for a moment. Then he exhaled slowly, like something he had been carrying had finally been set down. "Are you?" "I'm fine. The baby's fine. Noelle." "Don't rush me, Trey." The formal banquet happened 10 days later. Trey stood at the front of the room. "This is my wife, Noelle Morrow. She belongs here. Anyone in this room who has disrespected her is no longer welcome in our family's space. That includes family by blood." Her father stepped forward. "Trey, we are practically family. We always. You watched your daughter leave her wedding on a bicycle and called it appropriate. You said nothing when her ring was thrown across a room. You told her not to embarrass you on a day that should have been hers." Silence. "My wife was never the problem. You were." Across the room, Devin was cornered by a woman Brianna had never seen before. The woman was calm. Completely calm. She held a folder. "I have the medical papers," she said. "And the photos. Devin, I'm pregnant. And I have proof." Brianna turned. Devin turned. The room turned. "Victor I. Devin." Brianna's voice broke completely. She looked at Noelle across the room. For the first time in both of their lives, Brianna's face had nothing on it. No performance. No strategy. Just a woman standing in a room where everything had collapsed at once. Noelle walked over to her. She didn't say anything for a moment. Then, "Come on. Let's go outside." Brianna let her. Later, after the room had emptied and the staff had cleared the tables, Noelle found Trey on the steps outside. She sat beside him. "I haven't forgiven everything," she said. "I need you to know that. I know. The lie hurt me. Not the money, not the house. The lie. You watched me feel grateful for surviving something you manufactured. That's what I keep coming back to. I won't make excuses for it." "Good." She looked out at the dark front of the estate. "But I also keep coming back to other things. The way you stood at that banquet the first night. The way you cleaned my hand. The way you never once asked me to be anything other than what I was. Noelle, I'm not leaving. I want you to know that. I'm staying. But slowly. We build this slowly, honestly, or we don't build it. One step, he said. One step. She leaned her head back and looked at the sky. You know what's strange, she said. My whole life I thought I wanted to be chosen. By my father. By my family. I thought if someone just picked me, I would feel like I mattered. She touched the ring on her finger. But you didn't pick me because of who I was. You picked me to find out. And somehow that's still the most I've ever been chosen. Trey reached over and held her hand. He didn't say anything. There was nothing left to say. The people who threw her away built the throne she came home to.